And I'm joined by our expert royal panel, news.com.au royal commentator Bronte Coy and media writer for The Australian, Sophie Elsworth. Ladies, welcome back to the show. Now, I spoke about Australia potentially becoming a republic in my editorial, and I think that the first world whinging from the Australian Republican movement is a winner for monarchists. Soph, do they not see the damage they're doing to their own prospects, or do they just not care?
Well, Caroline, I don't think they do see the damage that they're doing to their prospects. Peter Fitzsimons was really a gift that kept giving until he stepped back down from the Republican movement. But I don't think they're prosecuting their case well enough. And I really don't believe at this point in time Australians want to move to a republic. I know the left side of the media loves to whip this up and stir it up as if it's something that Australians want. But as we know, the Prime Minister has said it's not something he's going to look at in this term of office. And I don't think it's something that's going to happen anytime soon. As much as the left side of politics would love this to happen, I think they're dreaming.
Yeah, I think that they are too, and there has been a lot of talk about it, but I don't see it being a priority for Australians. But Bronte, you'd think, knowing the age of the Queen and obviously with her passing away, you'd think they would have been more strategic about this, particularly given that there's been such a big change to the face of the monarchy, but it just seems like they have no plan here.
It is interesting. Even when I was in England at the time that the Queen died, there was this extreme swell of support for Charles. And surely there, as you said, there could have been a strategy in place from the Republican movement, perhaps at that time. And possibly also they didn't quite anticipate just how much support there'd be for him in the wake of the Queen's death. It's almost like people rallied around him, recognising that it's his mother. And so while they were mourning, it gathered a bit more steam there. But yeah, I mean, certainly the writing was on the wall with the Queen's age, and it does seem to be something that there isn't a huge appetite for right now. Even Anthony Albanese, as Sophie mentioned, has said that he won't be putting this to making any changes during this term of office. So certainly it doesn't seem to be anything that will be in the next few years at least.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So last week I spoke about Camilla and how she's the woman who just holds the whole show together. Apparently she has a trick which keeps King Charles on track at public events. What does she do?
Well, she gives him a little bit of a tug behind him to say, you know, pull yourself into line or let's get going. And, you know, this is something that I think isn't such a bad idea. We saw that issue that King Charles had when his pen wasn't working and he got a bit agitated. Camilla seems to be the calming force behind King Charles. So everyone's got their ways of handling their partners, and I think, you know, she's clever in doing this because we have seen him get a bit flustered publicly. He does say a few things that perhaps he might not think is the right thing to say at the time. He might, you know, blurt out something that's not quite correct, or he might get a bit hot under the collar like he did that time in Northern Ireland. So this is the secret to her to keep him into line, and I don't think it's such a bad idea.